Hello, good morning, who lives in India, and good evening, who lives in America. And so here is our another podcast. So where we will be talking about Chaba's projects and works. And so we had a part one recently. So yesterday, and a lot of viewers they want to see the part two and they want to explore more about this, so that's where we are calling up Chaba again. So here we will explore a bit about the rag, and on top of that we will also look into the various projects that he has worked within his career specific to the generative AI and rag and smartwatches. So let's welcome Chaba. Yeah,
Hi,
hi, good
how's it
morning and good
going?
evening.
Good morning, evening, all around the world.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Yeah, Chaba, how was the day today?
Pretty good. Actually, I read some about you mentioned newer text embedding model, and
Yeah.
I looked it up and also discovered there's a vector dimensionality reduction feature on the API,
Oh,
which uh,
that's
it
great.
turns out to be it's a simple truncation. So you
Yeah.
can say let's truncate the 768 dimension vector to 256 or similar.
Oh,
But
perfect.
now I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna use that because if somebody accrues a lot of history, that can
Yeah.
cut down the storage by one third, and also the embedding retrieval computation to one third. So not cut down by one, but to one third. Yes. So like
Yes. That's
I'm
great. But have you tried that tool, Chaba?
which one? The
So the new text embedding, which is in preview.
I just tested it in a REST client, so
Oh, that's great.
it should work.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
I
nice.
haven't
Just let me
released it.
know.
Yeah, you have to think about a lot of stuff. Like if somebody already has my app installed and I just switch it over, I would need to recompute every embedding, and
Yes,
so
exactly.
that would be a data migration and also would mean potentially a ton of API calls. So I'm thinking how to tackle that. Maybe I just say that my application is alpha state, so I just gonna simply switch. But in the future, if it will be out there, I won't be able to do that.
Yes, yes, exactly. So even I'm also, I just want to explore that preview feature, like the new text embedding that is in preview. So for one of the projects, so probably today or tomorrow, I will also go through it.
Yeah, I haven't made any measurements. I just see that it's similarly 768 dimensionality, just like the zero
Yeah.
zero.
Yes.
But I saw that it returned different vector. So uh,
Oh, okay. So basically, the dimensions, the number of dimensions which are with the Google embedding model is 768, but so you can truncate to 200 or 250, whatever you want,
yes, as
the
far as I
vector
saw,
output.
not in Dart yet, but via the REST API, I could certainly do, and I probably Python too. I
Okay,
haven't
okay.
checked the other APIs like JavaScript and what else. But yeah,
Yeah, so that's good. Actually, I will also go through it. Then we will discuss what exactly it's. Yeah. So, yeah, Chaba. So let's continue where we have stopped yesterday. So we were talking a bit about RAG. So let's try to explore more about RAG. And can you elaborate? So what chunking strategy that you have used? And so I think similarity search yesterday itself you have mentioned that's approximate nearest neighbors from the DB itself. Correct?
right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
with this project, the open multimodal personal assistant, I just rolled with the flow, and I think haven't had too many choices.
Yeah.
Uh, it's not like I had a big document database I would need to index and chunk. So
Yeah.
uh, with this application, where there are just very short interactions, so a question answer, I am
Yes.
not really doing any chunking. So I
Yeah. So,
take that question and take that answer as a whole chunk, and I embed the whole thing as it is. Yeah, maybe I will think about a little bit. The responses can be a little longer. The Gemini can be verbals. So, for example, when you play the video, if the audience looks back the part one, he plays my 4 minute demo video. Oftentimes I cut off, so I didn't let the agent tell all of the response because it would be even longer.
okay.
So at that time, maybe I can think of chunking. If I think of, so chunking means in the reg context uh, to chop up a bigger document to smaller pieces, because let's say you have a whole novel, um,
Yeah.
a whole book you need to index into the vector database. You cannot, theoretically you could input large portions of the book, but
Yeah.
what you want to do is ideally break up the book into conceptual little pieces, such little pieces which are conceptually whole. So let's say if it's a cookbook, then first the cookbook
Mm.
talks about the ingredients, then how to prepare, then I don't know how to do the baking portion, etc.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so you want the conceptual things. So the baking portion in a little different chunk, maybe the preparation, and also what are the ingredients. Maybe even you want the ingredients to be separate chunks, but you don't want to mix too many things together, because the what the embedding model does is it finds these vectors into this highly dimensional space. In our case, it's 768. And so let's say you are reading a book about um, some story where cars are involved, and there are books involved, and there are some apartments. If you and let's say this is one paragraph, not paragraph, one chapter. If you take the whole chapter as a chunk, then normally there would be a vector for probably car related stuff, a vector for living space and apartment, and a vector for books. But
Yeah.
if you chunk it together, it cannot really find that distinctive vector. So when it comes later for retrieval, when you want to match to this chapter, then you might not be able to find as good matches. So let's say you want to, let's say you are talking about cars again, and then
Mm.
the retrieval system wants to possibly get this chapter, but the chapter has this mixed vector which has all of these three other concepts together. It's not going to
Yes.
match this car vector as much. Whereas if I chop it up to three, fortunately the car portion vector will be very close to my car vector, ideally. And so this way it could identify that, oh, this chapter is related. Then it's up to us, once we have this little chunk, to extend it to the whole chapter potentially. So that's yet another thing, how what you want to do once you identified document sections. But I would say that as far as indexing and retrieval goes,
Mm.
ideally you want to ideally you want to chop up the document into the pieces which are uh, almost about one concept. and this can
Yeah,
vary. This
if it
the
is,
length of that can vary actually, so
yes,
it's hard to tell what's the good. There are good thumb rules, like I don't know, 150 characters or 200. You need
yeah,
to experiment with it, and then on top of the chunk size, you even want to specify an overlapping size. So you don't want the chunks to be distinctive. You want the chunks to overlap a little bit in some cases. This would mean that you wouldn't miss uh, potentially little information which are at the end or the beginning of the chunk. So the
yes,
chunks what you chop up are a little bit overlapping. And so let's
yes,
say 250 characters chunks with 50 character overlap, something like that.
yeah,
And on top of that, if your situation allows, try to go for a semantic chunking strategy,
that's one.
which means you don't want to uh, truncate a sentence. Usually, a sentence is about some conceptual whole thing. So, if it's a natural language document, you want to be aware of the end of the sentences, and sentences can have different length, but ideally don't chop in half the sentence. If it's just one next word to the end of the sentence, take that in. And so there are semantic chunking frameworks which are able to deal with it. Besides, let's say the sentences, they are able to also deal with paragraphs and higher level like subtitles, chapters.
Yeah,
I contributed to an open source framework
okay,
for multiple of these projects, which is able
that's
to do
great.
that for Markdown. Markdown is a very good human readable format. What you use on GitHub, READMEs, the MD extension, and it is able to interpret the title and other markings and the paragraphs. And so it's a little more intelligent than just simply having your text as a long one-dimensional sequence
Yeah,
of characters and then do the chunking. It is able to
yes,
do a little more logic. That's
yes,
ideal if you can do that. As
yes,
for
Chaba.
the agent goes, I didn't go that deep because it's simple utterances, question
Yeah.
answer. So right now I'm not doing any chunking.
Yeah. So to sum it up, as it's basically collecting some of the responses from the Gemini and some of the questions from the user. So that's the reason, as it is not too lengthy sentences and not long too longer tokens. So that's the reason you just without any chunking, so you have directly used it in RAG. So by every sentence, whatever that comes in, so that will be a single vector, and it was added in vector so in vector based knowledge graph. That's one point. And second one, when it comes to the chunking strategies, you are majorly talking like let's imagine if you have uploaded a PDF. So in that PDF, or let's take a slides PPT slide as converted into PDF, and that PDF you want to chunk it. So basically the every page makes sense because every slide consists of a topic header and then some information within it. So that's how we chunk it according to the page. When it comes to some other, let's imagine if you take a textbook, so there you will have a metadata. So based on the metadata, so based on a topic wise, you chunk it. And some places you may need semantic relation. So that's where you will use that. So that's what Chaba is talking about, multiple chunking strategies. And out of that, he has shared one of his experience where he has contributed for the open source, where they have used the markdown. So within that markdown, how he has done the chunking. So pretty detailed and elaborated response, Chaba. So it will be pretty useful for a lot of generative AI scientists. So Chaba, so next one, what ahead of open multimodal personal assistant?
Oh, there's a lot. So I file tickets, for example, in upgrading the text embedding, and I'm even thinking about, instead of just truncating the vector, to fold it over. But so I have a very lengthy list of issues. Maybe I will start to present, and
Yeah.
I can share some. Let's see, share the entire window, and so I can show, like, these are all issues, um, and very versatile. So a lot of them are about reg, some of them are about multi-modality. For example, I want to do image generation, image editing. I want
Okay.
to add the Shazam mode, I call it, where you can record the music and ask about the music, or generate audio. So
Okay.
adding these modes, refactorings. So there are a lot of, and also yesterday we were comparing it to the Gemini Live app. So I want to do
Yeah.
integrations with contacts, calendar, email, Gmail.
Ah,
So there's a
yes,
lot to do.
exactly. So Gmail API we need to pull up and then contacts and then contact. So all
Yeah,
those things. Additionally, you want to add it.
yeah. This would be all function tooling. Actually, I
Yeah,
should mark these.
function calling.
Yeah, I should mark these with those tags.
Yes, yes. So, but just I want to understand one more question. Chaba, why? So, do you want to suggest anything related to the prompt technique? So, basically, have you used chain of thought or have you used a generic prompt? That itself is more than enough for you.
I haven't used chain of thought yet, because one of the issues, actually, what I was planning is to introduce React prompting and review,
Yes,
which React is a little more than just chain of thought.
yes,
But
exactly.
React mechanisms are overlapping by functionality with the function calling capabilities of Gemini. So I will need to figure out how I can do this in a way that I still 100% leverage and take advantage of the function calling capabilities, but and I don't disturb it,
Yeah,
because this is about also actions. So I will need to experiment how that goes. I haven't had time with
yes.
that. There was a person here, healthcare boy, who wanted to contribute, but I think he didn't have time. But other people are interested as well.
Oh, okay, that's great. Yeah. So the React, the reasoning and acting, so that will be very beneficial because first it can reason and accordingly it can act. So that will give very efficient results, Chaba. So I
Yes,
think,
it can tackle questions which are more complex or tricky,
mm,
which might trip up simple prompts. That's one of the best use cases. So yeah, I would want to do that. So if this would mean that somebody could ask some of these very tricky questions which are hard to crack,
yeah,
and this would be able to probably even overcome that. Although I have
yes,
to, on the other hand, we also should know that the newer generation state-of-the-art models from Anthropic, Google Gemini, they,
yeah,
they they are better now than the one or two generations before were, regarding these very hard questions. So they always
yeah,
enhance them, but still, even researchers showed that even if you just tell the large language model to take a deep breath, just if you tell that, it even just that will increase its performance, which
yes,
is
yes,
crazy.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
then
Chaba. So one more thing I just want to know is, So you have made this as an app which can be installed in our smartwatches. So why not a mobile app?
Oh, it is. So I parallelly testing on my phone and my actually probably right now I'm testing it more on my phone because it's just a bigger screen
Yes.
estate.
So
And it is running on the phone. The smartwatch. The one reason is because the fourth smartwatch I'm using is a so-called full Android watch,
okay,
FAW, which runs a full-fledged Android. So it's not a Wear OS watch. So I simply install the APK just as I would use my phone.
okay,
You can buy such a watch for even 30, $40 on AliExpress or
okay, okay.
similar of these marketplaces. That's why
Yeah.
I choose that type of device.
Have you customized the code for mobile app, or is it exactly the same? Because as it's a Flutter app.
Right. So that would mean responsive design, or
Yeah,
actually even
exactly.
adaptive design. Oops, it's under development, and I can show you what I did is right now. What I'm doing is I'm using a grid layout, and then there is a little responsive code which looks at what's your aspect ratio.
Uh,
So if I'm
Shaba, I
viewing,
think only our like meeting window is visible, so you can.
oh, so
Yeah.
you don't see the IDE.
No, no, not
Oh,
it.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
So then I will try to share again.
Yes.
Yeah. I supposed to. Oh, entire screen. Yeah, I did the wrong thing.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes. Now it's visible.
yeah, and here's appearance presentation mode. Yeah, this is what I wanted yesterday.
Yes.
So
Okay.
this is
Got it now.
this. That's the starting screen, and so I query the size, and then I compare if it's a horizontal or a vertical type of view, and I am sizing the columns or rows within that layout grid based on what's the orientation. So this is the
Okay.
logic. It's kind of simple logic. So right now I have 6 icons, which there will be more. So on the watch, the icons are more horizontal, so 2 rows and 3 columns. Whereas on my phone, when I hold my phone on a portrait mode, it's going to be 2 columns and 3 rows as a
Okay.
result. And also the size is dynamic. So the icon size is dynamic based on the dimensions, the
Yes.
screen state size. So right now that's how far I go,
Okay.
but probably it can be improved more.
So these are the few changes that you are doing. And what about front end, Chaba?
So well, that's I think probably that's what I have front end wise. So
Yes.
I will have a few more changes. For example, I am in the middle of when you are in a multi-model image chat mode, and so you are
Yeah.
taking a photo. Right now, it's really just one tap, and then you take the photo.
Yeah.
However, on the phone, or maybe I will look how it looks on the smartwatch. I want to
Yeah.
give you more detailed controls. So the focus control, the flash, how the flash. So those are just extra buttons. And
Yes.
on the watch, that might be too crowded to show all of those. And so
Yes.
I'm experimenting how to add that for sure on the for the mobile phone, but then maybe I can do it on the watch as well. But that probably will differ between the watch and the phone.
Yes, I think even a slight front end changes, which are specific to mobile phone, if we design, it will look very good.
Yeah, right now I don't have that much, I would say, and
Yeah, I agree.
I'm looking because yeah, I also agree that it can be I can take advantage of the mobile phone. Fortunately, Flutter by default is, I would say, capable out of the box dealing with these very different sizes.
Yes, yes.
So normally, I only want to rely. So, for example, uh, maybe I need to just a second. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the. How do I get to the other files? Sorry. So I just want to pull up for you the screen. No,
Okay.
I'm anyway. Okay, go on, and I will work on pulling that screen up.
Yes, yes, no problem. So, Chaba, are you maintaining a separate repository for it, or is it in the same branch that you were doing?
So what I am right now with this project, I'm using Git flow workflow, which means that
Okay.
I have a. Okay, I will struggle with this later. But so if I come back here, I can show it to you that I have a main branch. This is the production, and then I
Yeah.
am doing normally development
Okay.
in the develop branch, and then for bigger features like what I was explaining for those extra camera controls, I am
Yeah.
opening feature branches. That's
Okay.
like that's independent from this project. I would advise anybody who use Git to either use Git Flow or Git Town or both. Those help you out of the box deal with very simple commands like opening branches, closing, merging,
Okay.
etc. Those are just one commands, whereas they translate down to maybe 6 Git commands.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
great.
how I
So
operate with
Git
it.
flow you're using, right?
Yes.
Okay. So just I'm also like trying out. Like, see, if we maintain a separate repository only for mobile, so even me and one of my friend is there, so we can work on front end of the same, and then we can develop it also. We can contribute from that side. Probably it may take a little time, but for the mobile app, because you see, we have done for Avarta Life similar to that. A nice front end can be designed so that it will be very, it will look very good.
Yes. Yes. So,
Yeah.
oh, here we go. That's right. I'm sorry. So I gonna get out of. Yeah, I want the project, and
Yes.
so I can show that normally if you work with Flutter, it's
Yeah.
always, if you can, and you have to test that, uh, rely on its default behavior. So, for example, the history
Yeah.
view. I am actually, you can browse the history in one view, or when I was on in the demo, I was doing the personalization.
Yes.
What it uses is I'm just using a list view with a list style, and I'm trying to use the default the the default styles. So the default font size, the default.
Ah,
Uh,
yes.
of course, I am customizing that. So if we want to go just quickly, I will show you this bootstrapping, because in the bootstrapping I can show you that. Sorry, in the bootstrapping I show you that what I'm using is a Flex theme. It's a it's a Flutter plugin, and
Okay. Okay.
you can
Yes.
select
Correct.
color schemes and everything, and you can create on the website or
Yes.
browse. color schemes
Yes,
and very
exactly.
easily
Yeah.
customize it away. And then you have your themes, and I want to use ideally just the default, I don't know, header, the default label from the theme, what I customized, and only customize it further for other form factors if needed.
Yes, exactly. So these, as Flutter has that potential, like it will come up with the teams, and also with that, we can reduce our work. But however, if you want to have our own customized, nice design, so that's where we can jump in and do it. Yes, Chaba, agree completely.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
have it in
so
hand. Okay, let's go.
yeah, Chaba, you were saying something?
Yeah, I was just trying to pull up the uh, just show the
Yeah,
website where you can configure it, but I
yes,
don't have it right now in hand. Here's the docs. Yeah, here's the playground. See,
yeah,
so
that's a
I'm
Teams
loading the play,
playground.
and so this is for this flex current scheme, and then so I can here I can select all of these themes. Sticking in the Indigo San Marino, and I can even customize it further if I want.
Yes,
So
yes,
you can
exactly.
find your favorite one.
Yes, yes.
Highly recommended.
Yeah, Chaba, that's great. So now let's get into the other projects. So I think
Let's
one of
go.
your so one of the project that you worked, I think the AR application for locating recycling bins at Fresno State University. Basically, that's a fantastic blend of technology and environmental sustainability. And even if you see, we have built an app which is called Avarta Life, which also focuses more on environmental sustainability. Probably I just want to collaborate in this aspect, like how can we bring that and integrate with our app. So we will collaborate in that. Can you share the challenges you faced while integrating geospatial API technology with terrain anchors, and how did students respond to this innovative solution?
Yeah, for sure. So uh, I just want to say that I made two main applications in this space, and I usually create a separate organization. So it's
Okay.
not under my business or personal account. So this has its own organization, and then the recycling trash can locator, and then the tree walk has its own organization as well. And both of
Yeah.
them kind of use the same scheme, that they have a mobile app and they have a companion website.
Yeah.
So the companion website shows the locations on a traditional 2D map,
Okay.
and each of these locations have 360 photos and videos. So then here is the wow. This is the demo gods happening right now. So I normally there is a 360 photo here, what you can look around, and this is a video also 360. So if you have a VR headset, you can
Okay. Okay.
examine this. I refreshed my operating system yesterday, and I don't know why. Yeah, so you can see this is a 360 photo here
Yes. Yes.
about there is the trash can, and so I'm using
Yeah.
here my own customized Google VR for Web branch, because they are not
Okay.
maintaining it anymore, to serve this. And you could view this with a cardboard VR or other VR headset.
Yes.
Similar for the, so this is the companion website, and then
Okay.
there is the application, which, if I go back here to the, this is the companion website, this is the application, everything is open source. And
That's great.
so the main challenge was to just make this happen, because I wanted to create this application even before the geospatial API was available, and I couldn't get the direction going on, because if so imagine that you are here in the field with your phone and
Okay.
you are looking around.
Yes.
You today you can locate yourself GPS location wise pretty good.
Yeah.
The default GPS precision is 10 meters, but with
Yeah.
the dual band GPSs, which are getting more common, that narrows down to 1 meter or below, plus the
Okay.
AGPS, the advanced GPS techniques.
Yeah.
You can locate yourself really well. What you cannot do is to know where exactly you are looking. And
Yes.
when you are running this app with your phone, the
Yeah.
phone is critical to the reality, and it also shows these extra objects. So there would be I cannot show it here, cannot demo it that well, but there would be a big arrow here bouncing, where
Oh, okay.
a gigantic bouncing arrow here where the trash cans are. So
Okay.
in order to put this to the right place, I will need to track your, as you are holding the phone, you are shaking it a little and it's not
Yeah.
stable.
Motion tracking.
Yeah, so it has to be very kind of precise to make
Yeah.
it look like a good augmentation. The the sensor, the compass sensor is not good enough in the phone. It requires calibration. It can be not precise. And I even thought about these workarounds that I asked the user to step ahead 1 yard, and then I could calculate the vector. But it's still I'm not able to do that. It's very hard.
Okay.
What Google has though, Google has
Yeah.
a Street View database. So fortunately, the campus has Street View. So the Google
Okay.
cars went around here. Google also has the 3D approximate structure of all of the buildings with Google Earth, and they
Okay.
also
Yeah.
they also have a so-called VPS system, visual positioning. So
Yes. Yes.
they do a gigantic fusion of this information and also sprinkle it with AI that as an extra
Yeah.
sauce, and
Yeah.
then they are able to determine where I'm looking at exactly. So they
Oh.
were the only one make. I was so happy when they did that. They were the one
Oh.
who made it
Perfect.
possible, uh, so I could show that. Or for the tree walk, I am also showing similarly signs for the trees uh,
Yeah.
along the tree walk. The tree walk is a little more enhanced. Just a second. So if I just want to show you because it's kind of fun. Because the tree walk, I went further, and I
Yeah.
also integrated some gamification in the app.
Okay.
This is still just a companion website, but the tree walk has has a suggested way of walking the trees, and so I can track you, where are you exactly, what's the next stop, and then I even give you experience points if you are
Okay.
reaching the spots, or you can do virtual watering of the tree, uh, things like that. So
Yes.
yeah, and okay, here in this browser it's not working now, but yeah, so that's even better. That was the second app I was doing, and so I even added some gamification with it. Yeah, it's this tree in this case, which is the stop. And
Okay.
yeah, this is super interesting, and I love AR and VR
Yes.
too.
Yes. Even I too. Yes. Yes. So when you bring AR, VR, and then AI, Gen AI all together, so then actually we can make wonders. It like the human life will be enhanced.
Right, we could. Yeah, there are several ways to marry generative AI. Yeah, we could pull information. Like I am pulling up information about these trees There
Yeah.
can be artwork, which is generative AI supported, and so there can be many things.
Yes, yes, exactly. So probably we can collaborate in the same in future. Yeah, Chaba. So eco trivia sounds like another fun and educational game addressing climate change awareness. So I just want to explore. I just want to take us through that also. How did utilizing low code or basically no code tools like Agent Builder, okay, and Flutter Flow influence the development process? So, and what advice would you give to others looking to use these tools for impactful projects? Because Agent Builder from Vertex AI, so which is by and large low or no code, and then you have used the Flutter Flow from the Google. So both are from Google. Yeah.
Correct. So how did it influence? So it provided a very a kind of different experience than if you would do the traditional coding, and it was very pleasant, I would say. So maybe right now I'm showing the backend, which is the agent builder,
Yeah.
which stems from it. The roots date back to the dialog flow.
Yes,
If
exactly.
anybody was working with Dialogflow, which you could write apps to the Google Home with these Dialogflow conversations, and there was some AI in it already, but their new agent builder is completely revamped and
Yeah, which is part
utilizing.
of Vertex AI search.
And so, yeah, that's that too. It's kind of sort of the, but I want to show you just quickly that here is an agent builder app called
Yes.
Ecotrivia. And then how much is it low no code, that I'm not writing any code. This is all a natural language. And I
Yes.
also, with natural language, describe to the large language model how it can generate the trivia, because it was denying it. The LLM said that I'm not capable of that. So I needed to lay it out that yes, you can, you have to do these steps. And
Okay.
then after I lay it down, it is very well able to do that. Of course, I also should mention that besides these steps, very important to provide examples. So
Okay.
we, for
Yeah.
example, let's say here's this example of about electricity. I pose the questions here, and then it's very super important when you are doing the examples. First, I did it manually, but the
Yeah.
manual recording missed this step, which this is very important step, the tool usage. Uh,
Yes.
because if there's no tool usage, I would just teach the agent to not do rag, because here we are doing rag. Uh,
Yes.
I'm jumping ahead a little bit. So let's get back here, because when I'm viewing this natural language portion, you could see
Step.
this special tool
Yes. With variable.
references. Now these tools, I'm go over to the tools. They can be. I have a data store tool right here, and
Yes.
this data store tool, actually a whole bunch of documents from the United Nations about
Okay.
the sustainable development goals and their progress. And so that's what I indexed together. You can
Yes.
see also here, I recently upgraded to the 1.5 Flash preview here.
That's good.
They are bringing this over. And so I wanted to show you. So this is just the tool view from the point of the agent, but
Yes.
I want to go over to the tool itself. Hold on for a second. So if I go, uh, I need to go around here, and
Yes. You need to go back.
I need to go back to,
So that's
uh,
data store tools. Yeah. So you need.
yeah. First of all, so besides data store, so indexing a whole bunch of documents with rag, you can have functions and also open API calls. It is capable of doing that. And
Yes.
then here I go to
So
this
you, yeah,
manage data,
directly go to the vertex search. Yeah.
and here I have this unstructured data because
Yes.
I was indexing PDFs. Here are all of the PDFs I was indexing, and I can configure, so I can configure what kind of parser I use.
Yes.
You mentioned we were talking about chunking, and PDF is a very interesting thing because it has sometimes graphs, it has charts, and so
Yeah.
these parsers can perform differently. Uh,
Yes.
so there is a good learning about chunking, of which one they uh, advise, digital parser, or so which document types and what content.
Yes.
And so it and I can also set, now it's not settable, but originally I can set the chunk size,
Chunks.
and then it does everything automatically for me. So it's really just no code. I'm just click click click, it does the chunking, and then I can start to use it. So
Yes.
it's super handy. And then I was thinking that, okay, this is already all no code, so let's try to do the front end with no code, low code. And that's where
Okay.
since I know Flutter, and I heard
Yeah.
about, I saw a Flutter flow, and maybe I even looked at example project. I knew about Flutter flow, and so I took Flutter flow to a spin, and to integrate and call over to that agent from the Flutter application.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bore you with. I got these login and account creation out of the box from one of the example apps. I started to modify one of the example apps. I was creating the artwork with generative AI here, and then it's super easy. You go to, let me show the widget structure, and then you can drag and drop. I can drag and drop buttons here, and then once you have the button, then I go over to the actions, and then I can see this is a navigation action. So I just navigate. If I click the trivia, I navigate to the. Sorry, I'm clicking this is the Oracle button, so I'm going to the chat screen here, and so
Yes.
it's most of the time even these button clicks are not code, so
Correct.
no code, but sometimes I wasn't able to do this all without code, so I have some functions here. In each
Yes.
case, it's good if you know some Dart and things, but mostly it's no code, to the point
Yeah.
that, for example, all of my animations, you can see an animation here, for example, on the bottom. Those I was using Rive. Rive
Okay.
is a web-based animation designing website, and so I just created the Rive animation, and then drag and dropped here. So I have among the widget sections, I have a Rive animation widget. What I dropped there. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. So if I double click here, and I
Yeah.
navigate to the, I'm not sure why it's not navigating now. This is the demo gods.
Yeah.
Here we go. And so this is a Rive animation widget. And so I just drag and dropped here, and then I imported the Rive animation, and that's it. It's there. Although I need to a little bit configure when it's visible or not. So this one is the spinner animation. So let's show this, by the way. So um, where is this project? The Echo Trivia application. Yeah. So I have here the link to it, and so I navigate there.
Yeah.
I haven't tested it with. Maybe I should. You know what? I gonna go. It should work the same way on Firefox, but let's do Chrome. So here we go,
Okay.
and let's go to the trivia. And now
Trivia.
this is the Rive animation which is going on
Oh,
here,
that's
and
great. Nice.
I just brought this over. Now it's reaching out. It takes a little while.
Yeah,
Here we have, so what percentage of the world population that has access to clean cooking fuel and technologies? And then if I
yeah.
don't know the answer, you have hints. If you redeem a hint, so it says it's more than 50 but less than 80%, then I will get less experience points once I guess. And since it's a RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation, I can ask about the source. It was generated this from the SDG 2023 report statistical index.
Oh,
And I can have an extra hint. So I guess it's going to be 71. And this is a live animation too, this cake.
okay.
And so that's it. And then if you're gonna, the game might not be fulfilling enough, you can start a chat about the same reg index document. So I can say how is the which one is which one is the climate action SDG. This is really live demo, so I don't know if it's gonna falter. I know the answer, so yeah, it's the goal 13, and so I can ask how is the progress of goal 13 going? Now, since it's reg, it should know that I'm talking about, and the context also of the chat should know that I'm
Yeah.
talking about this. And yeah, take urgent action to combat climate change. And I can ask, I don't know, how the COVID affected the progress. So the COVID took a hit, but on another way, reverse the progress. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so you can have
Yes,
this
yes.
chat.
We got, yeah, we got the grasp of it. So, Chaba, how did you connect the agent, which is in for our viewers? So, the agent is in Vertex AI and Vertex AI search, and you have your Flutter Flow code. So, how did you connect them? How did you integrate them?
Oh yeah, the very good question. It's because I needed to have a glue code, and I have everything open source. So this is the export of this code from the Flutter Flow. It's very
Okay,
nice. It's very nice. By the way, it generates very nice code. Then I have the exported agent from the agent builder.
okay,
But here is this this cloud function. Sorry, this is the agent. No. Yeah, the cloud function. I needed to write a
okay,
cloud function, and actually, nobody told me how to do that. So I opened up a Stack Overflow about how to do that, and in the end, I realized that I can salvage some of the Dialogflow CX APIs to call into that, and this way I can reach, because under the hood it's kind of sort of Dialogflow CX,
yes,
kind of sort of Vertex AI, whatever. But I was able to drive it with this type of function, and the actual resulting function. I went through actually all of these various uh, versions, and I'm using Python version 2, and I ended up doing a structured response. So
okay,
you can see various versions. I was struggling a lot with coarse rejection.
okay,
So this you can there's a lot under the hood what I was going through, but yeah, I needed this glue code. But
okay,
outside of this glue code, most of it is no code, low code, and the whole development process because of that was very different than normally. And I would say, going back to your original question, that
mm,
this can be very well the future. Some people frown upon it a little bit because it might not be able to run the last miles for you, And then
Yeah.
I've heard stories where when the development team had to run the last mile, it was enough work that they said that it could have been better to just do the whole development from scratch manually. But in my opinion, I was able to get along very well, even
Yes.
even though I had to write this cloud function. But once I'm ready, I can reuse this now, and so I can do similar things much easier. And I think it's a very viable thing, because one of I was uh, cooperating with developer student club Fresno
Okay.
State. And for example, I give the task to Renho, one of the students there, and he was integrating this chat box. So, and
Okay.
he might not be a Dart programmer, but he can handle actually he's a Dart programmer, but he can handle the graphical design. So he was able to do this at a half a night project
Yes.
to put this put this widget in. By the way, here I first tried. Flutterflow even allows you to try to generate the widget from scratch with generative AI instructions, and
Oh, that's great.
it was generating for me almost a similar looking layout, but it wasn't a list here. So it was putting down number one, number two, number three, number four, and instead of that, you want to have a list here, a dynamic.
Yes.
So the generative AI portion is getting there. It's not there yet. I would say
Yeah, but it's
five
gonna
years
come
from
soon.
5 years from now, it's gonna be, I'm sure, better. So it's
Would
coming,
be.
and I think people should listen to how these tools are coming along and embrace them, and see how they can integrate them into the development process, because
Yes.
the future is this, most probably.
Yes, Chaba, generative AI has already changed how we develop things, and I think in like probably after 2 or 3 years, so we will see a different type of development altogether. So I think if you see the Amazon, one of the leader, he has mentioned that so it has actually cut the 6,000 developers hours. So, or if you put it in other way, so that person has told that, so we are able to do this work which is equivalent to 6,000 years of development. So that's what he was mentioning, because of that's how the Gen AI is adding the capabilities to us. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So then so basically you got your app, agent from the Vertex AI, and then you got your Flutter Flow code, and then you have integrated them. So for that, you have to write one cloud function.
Yeah, so the cloud function, then I can invoke it from a function here as in a REST fashion. So the get trivia, probably that's gonna be it. So yeah, I discard change. I didn't do any change. So I just, there are some workarounds here, but it's actually a JSON call here. Okay, this is already receiving the results. So sorry, I haven't. I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's just a REST call, and then
Yes. Okay. I think
I
that's good.
define, I define graphically these structures, and it automatically able to marry the structure response into those
Yeah.
with a little work. It's pretty
So
cool.
as yeah, Chaba. So it's pretty clear, and thanks a lot for demonstrating this particular app also, because this will be very useful too. So as so we have reached like almost 1 hour of time. So what we would like to do is probably some or other day we'll plan, and then we will try to explore few other contributions that you have done. So again in detail. Okay.
Okay. Uh,
So I will. So we will connect offline, and then we'll discuss the comfortable time, as because tomorrow is Sunday, so we will plan accordingly.
sure.
Okay.
I'm very happy to speak more, and I hope that everybody finds this useful.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. It will be very useful because even some of the Gen AI scientists who wanted to build a simple app, so they can use agent builder, as well as they can use Flutterflow, because they may not be very experienced, or they are not the experts of building a mobile app. So with this Flutterflow some or other ways, so they can build it, and of course while integrating they need to write a bit of code, but that's okay.
Maybe if the next time we don't come to back to this particular application, I might show you that I have to mention, because we are with the agent builder, that the normal way of exposing them, the most natural way of them,
Yeah.
of the
Yes.
integration, is to integrate them with this
With the
messaging,
directly social.
this
Yeah.
Slack, Discord, etc. So I was trying to for example, attach the echo trivia chat oracle into Slack. You have to
Slack.
go through some hoops, but I also like things like Streamlit or Gradio. I don't know if you've worked with those,
Yes, yes, gradient
but
stream it. So Gen A
so
is.
yeah, I do have a Streamlit application for the Oracle chat, which is also uh, it should be open source. You could see this Streamlit app,
No, yes, yeah.
and I thought that I have the link here, but this is all actually right now deployed and on Streamlit.
Okay.
And so you can chat with this agent via here is it, yeah. I just quickly wanted to show you that, and yeah, here you are. So maybe the Streamlit, if somebody knows Python, it's
Yes,
very
yes.
very simple to it has a simple user
UI UX code as well as, yeah, the
UX
components. Mm.
UX loop, and
Yes,
then very short code, as you can see, and then they deploy it for me for free. And what this does is it also calls out to those that cloud function what I already established for the Flutterflow and for this as well, and then you are able to chat. So this is yet another way to interface with it with very low code
yes,
outside of
exactly.
any
So
of those. Those can be fun, by the way, to chat with these Slack and Discord and other stuff as well.
yes, exactly.
So I just
So
wanted to tell this. Sorry.
yeah, no problem, Chaba. So that's what. So majority of the data scientists for their POCs they use either Streamlit or Gradio. So I think majority of data scientists know how to use it. So that's one way. But I'm just talking from mobile app perspective. So Flutter Flow can also be useful for them. So that's where I'm coming up.
Right. So yeah, from Flutterflow, you can build. I can download. I think APK. I think I have to be in a paid tier, possibly.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, and it's multi-platform, just like Flutter, so you can do iOS and everything. So yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Chaba. So it's pretty cool. And then so we had explored. So Vertex AI side, we have explored the agent builder, and we have explored the Flutter Flow. So it was a great session, and so some other times we will try to explore the next project that we have discussed. And kindly send me the your GitHub account so that our viewers can follow it, and even they can actually contribute if it is required.
Right. Maybe one more thing, not more, that I submitted this application to a hackathon, Flutterflow AI for Good hackathon. And
Yeah.
there's going to be, just like for the Gemini SDK API hackathon for the agent app, for this Echo Trivia game, for this hackathon, similarly, there's, how do they call it?
People choice voting.
People's Choice Award. So I'm gonna maybe post the link, and so if you
Yes.
find my application useful, you are welcome to vote for it or any other of the candidates. I'm pretty sure the other candidates are great. I watched your candidate. Your application is pretty awesome. With a big team, I like it a lot. It's about sustainability.
Yes, yes, exactly. Thanks a lot, Chaba. Even so, viewers, so kindly support Chaba because so he has done pretty good work, and then he's helping you out also to inspiring you to do these things. Yes, Chaba, we will do it for sure. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you very much again,
Yeah. Have a
hosting me.
good night.
Have a good
Yeah.
night.
Yes.
Oh, a
Sure,
good
sure,
day.
sure. Yeah. For me, it's good, and for you, it's good night.
Bye bye.
Yeah. Take care. Bye bye. So. So that's what. This is all about the today's webinar. I hope you got to learn a lot from the uh, agent builder, from RAG side, from the mobile app side. So try to explore these things and try to build your own apps so that you can create a chatbots, or you can create an web mobile apps where you can put your work, you can put your generative AI work into an app, and you can demonstrate it to the people, and you can take it to the users. So I hope you liked it, and so just keep following it, keep subscribing it, and then keep commenting and sharing it. Till then, bye bye, take care.